Alright, so I haven't uploaded for a while due to a number of reasons, but anyway, here I am, and today I'm gonna give you a 2-year review of these shoes. Right, so these are the Shimano RX8 Gravel shoes. So I think they're one of the first gravel specific shoes that was released some time ago. I got them when they were just coming into the market where I live, so they were quite new at the time. So this is probably the first edition. I think now there's more iterations of this. There's an RX6, there's an RX8R, there's an RX8 with like a built-in gaiter for for more trail related rides. But yeah, this is I've been using this for 2 years now, and in terms of mileage, I probably average around anywhere from 12, 13, 14,000 kilometers a year. So probably this is around 25,000 kilometers of mileage so far, mix of indoor and outdoor, right? So yeah, I use them on my both on my road bike and my mountain bike. So I've since switched to SPD. So these are SPD cleats. I've since switched to SPD cleats coming from SPD SL Shimano 2 years ago when I bought these, specifically because I was finding myself more and more riding in off-road conditions. Not just because it's a gravel shoe. I still have a road bike, but my ride mates at the time wanted to sort of explore off the beaten track, right? So, and I think it was the rainy season back then, so I found myself having to always, I don't know if you've experienced this with SPD SL road shoes, you always had to sort of use some sort of stick to get the mud out of the edges in order for it to clip in to your pedals. And it's pain because you're trying to clip in, it doesn't, you stop, you look for a stick somewhere, clean it up, you do it again, and then you find that you missed a little spot of mud there and you can't clip in again, so you get off again, and so on and so forth. So eventually I just I did some research, because I think it's highly Googleable, right? SPD versus SPD SL. There's a lot of research and opinions on the matter, but in the end I decided this was okay for me. And yeah, for 2 years I've been using these. I've sent in an order for a new pair, exactly the same color, the new edition, exactly the same size, because these are already starting to wear out. So I wanted them to be ready when these inevitably fail. So you will see some telltale signs. So you see here, there's already a gap between the sole and the top material there. The boa is still pretty okay, working well. A lot of scuffs there when I crashed a few months ago. And the biggest one is here at the heel. If you see, there's already a gap there, big gap between the sole and the upper shoe part, right? So I imagine probably in the middle of the ride, this will probably open up slowly, and it's the same for both shoes, right? So it's not just isolated to muscle imbalance or whatever. It's reaching its its lifespan pretty much. But so far, other than that, I have had I've been very happy with these. They're super light for an SPD shoe. The boa works perfectly. I found that every few months I had to sort of open this up with a small Torx screw, because I had to sort of make sure that the cable, the boa cable, wasn't entangled inside. For some reason, after numerous openings and closings, it becomes entangled. So just needed to open this thing up and stretch it open, and then put it back in and watch it wind, coil in a nice manner without tangling up, right? So what else? When I had my bike fit, the fitter also put some pieces of material on the inside of the sole to sort of correct my alignment a little bit. So that's nothing on the shoe, but more for me. But that also shows you how easily modifiable this shoe is to fit you. Yep, so you see that it has lugs there, but I've pretty much almost worn down these lugs beside the cleat such that when I walk, I hear already sometimes the metal hitting the floor. So the lugs beside the cleat, which are supposed to protect the cleat from making contact with the floor when you're walking, they've sort of, they're not really lugs, right? But whatever they're called, but they've worn in a little bit, right? So it's now, you know, almost level with the cleat. But still, you know, it's still very walkable. It's still no worse than an SPDSL. Always be careful, you know, walking, especially on tiled and wet surfaces, indoors or in a restaurant, in convenience stores, you know, in the middle of the ride when you want to cool off. What else? That's pretty much it. I haven't changed the cleats on these since day one. So, you know, that's another advantage of SPDs. The cleats last pretty much forever because they're made of metal. They're a little bit heavier. But SPDSLs, I found I had to change them every, you know, 6, 8, 10 months. But these ones were the brand new ones that came with my pedal when I first got these shoes, and I haven't changed them since. So, you know, it's pretty cool. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, 2 years, still going strong. A little bit of signs of aging. Still very much usable. You know, so I reckon I'll probably, one more thing here, this is because of the crash probably, because I don't find it on the other shoe, but there's a little scuff there that already shows the inner material because of my crash. Yeah, I crashed on my right side, so that's probably what caused that. But yeah, I reckon I'll probably get another good 4 to 6 months of use out of these before I change them over to the new shoes. And it's also good timing because I have a bike fit scheduled in May. So probably when I go for the bike fit, I'll bring these, but I also bring my new shoes. So, you know, so that I can be fitted for my new shoes, which is exactly the same, even the same color, I think. Just the next iteration in the series. So that's it. Let me know what you think of RX8. If you've tried it before, let me know down in the comments. And you know, if you have any questions, feel free to ask there. I will do my best to answer all questions in the comment section. Right, ride safe.